What's up, girl?
Nope. Hey, court is over with. Oh, not all the way over for the
Over?
day. Let me
That's what I'm
rephrase.
talking about.
I had got a Twitter 10-hour ban, and I said they freed a real nigga. They thought Tory had walked off. Careful.
Wait,
I
wait.
don't
Why they
even
banned
fucking
you?
know. I'm back up there now, but I don't even fucking know. Some dumb shit, stupid shit. But I was just telling them that they're going to allow the jury. It was said, when everything was over with, they're gonna allow the jury to listen to Kelsey's interview from September with the prosecutors. They're gonna let them listen to it in full. I think it's probably like 80 minutes.
Why didn't Tory's legal team like put some objection to that, or is it possible that maybe like before trial starts, like tomorrow, they might just be like, hey, listen, judge, come on now, like playing 80 minutes of this shit. Remember, some jurors are dick riders. They might go with whatever they heard last.
But you know what? Once again, if they do what they came to do, which is, identify if they feel like he committed a crime, Kelsey gave that testimony, and she has repeatedly said that she lied. She has repeatedly said that she felt pressured. She absolutely has made herself unreliable. So what can we do with that at this point? So anybody that wants justice to be served at this point, I think that is fair, regardless of who you consider yourself believing, to understand that if you say that you believe 100% that Tory did it, you have to acknowledge that that's a lie. Like, come on now. After all of this shit, who can honestly say, yeah, I 100% believe that his life is on the line? This is 22 years. So after everything that's happened with this shit show, do y'all really think that he deserves to do this or go to prison for this shit when it's this fucking messy and we finding out all of this shit? Because when I say shit got trumped up today, it got trumped up today. And I know why they want to push that audio is because Kelsey got up there and blew that whole shit up. That's all they got left. The judge said we could be done with this Friday or Monday. And the defense had a huge lead today in terms of speaking to witnesses and chopping their ass up and breaking them down. The defense today, once again, like in day one, when we went through the 5 witnesses and the police officers who were using pieces of paper as placards to mark this, phantom ass blood trail, they proved again today that the LAPD is incompetent. The LAPD, then we'll get into chronological order, but the LAPD got the robbery detective 2 days ago, told him 2 days ago, look at this Instagram post. Lil Jew made the beat, who posted this back in September of 20 said, y'all don't think that goofy nigga shot her? Yes, he did. Somebody commented and said, Kelsey shot Megan. And Tory Lane's account said, Kelsey didn't shoot Megan. Okay. They said, did you even try to look up the IP address or what else posted from? Because celebrities have other people that post from their social media pages, right? He said, no, I didn't think it was relevant. They said, you don't think it's relevant in terms of trying to identify who may have posted that to look further? He said, was your duty to come up here and just basically say that Tory Lanez posted that? No, that's not why I'm here, but I didn't think it was relevant to look. That, I looked at that post, I went to his page, it was verified, and so that was it. What kind of fucking investigation is that? And they gave that to you 2 days ago? 2 damn days ago they gave that shit to you. Sloppy. Yeah, sloppy. Well, okay, so we come back from lunch. Kelsey is still on the damn stand. They said before we broke, we spoke about the DA in 2022. They said you found out about the defense theory and the gunshot residue sample that they took that night. They said, did the detective tell you that they had that and all of that? She said, yeah, I found out that I had gunshot residue on me, but I don't know when I found it out. But yeah, they said, do you remember going to the station and being swabbed and your hands getting swabbed for DNA? She said, I don't remember that. They said, did you find out what the evidence showed when you met with them? And she said, yeah, okay. They said, were you told that you would be done if you gave them that interview in September, that you would be done with this case, you wouldn't have to deal with it no more and all of that? She said, yes. They said, what was the interview done? She said, in a room. I don't know. They said, did you tell the prosecution things to be done with this case? She said, I thought I would be done with it. They said, didn't you say that you wanted to free yourself in that interview? She said, yes, I wanted to free myself, and tell my truth. They said, this is defense speaking with her. They said, you wanted to free yourself from this case and free yourself from your connections with Tory, right? She said, I wanted nothing to do with this case. Then they bring up Rock Nation. Okay. They said Megan is with Roc Nation, right? And she said, yeah. They say, do you know Tory's label? She said, no. They said, but you was with Roc Nation by way of working with Megan, right? She said, yeah. They said, did you know about Roc Nation trying to sign Tory and the fact that they fell out? Objection immediately. And that was sustained so that they could not get into that. So we didn't get an answer, but absolutely. Huh?
I heard,
we heard
about that. Hey, a lot of people in the industry heard about that. It was interesting when people thought that Roc Nation was going against Tory because we thought they were going to be business at Roc Nation
brunch. Tory was ending and becoming an independent artist. There were many people that wanted to sign him, you know, to the label. Roc Nation was one of the places interested. So, you know, So then we go to the party now. We switch gears. And so there was like, who went to the party with you? They said EJ, and they use the word party, but once again, the gathering, whatever you want to call it. Kelsey, EJ, and Megan rode together. And they said, and you didn't see Tory come in. She said, no, I did not see Tory come in. They said, because you were drunk and you had gone to sleep, correct? Yes. They said, did Megan look drunk? She said, yeah, but all of us were drunk. And they just specified again that she was laughing obnoxiously. They said, did you see Tory flirting with Kylie? They say, yes. Kelsey said, yes. They said, did you see Megan while he was flirting with Kylie? She said, yeah. They said, how did Megan look while he was flirting with Kylie? They said, Megan looked irritated. Okay. They said, did EJ say it was time to go? And she said, yeah. They said, did you see EJ tell Megan that it was time to go? She said, I didn't see EJ tell her that, but I know I told her that. And she didn't want to leave. But I don't know why she didn't want to leave, but she didn't. They said, was EJ there when she agreed to leave? They said, yeah. They said, was EJ still there before you left? She said, yeah. They said, did y'all have y'all luggage in a room that Kylie provided for y'all in Kylie's home? She said, yes. They said, you had multiple bags in that room? They said, yeah. Kelsey said, yeah, we had multiple bags in the room. They said, who packed y'all bags in Kylie's house? EJ packed the bags in Kylie's home. They said, who put the bags in the car? Kelsey said, me and EJ put the bags in EJ's car. They said, did Megan agree to leave at that point? She said, no. At some point, she said, Megan told us that we was going with Tory. So they had to move the bags from EJ's car at that point to Tory's car. Okay. She says, when we got in the vehicle to leave the very first time, which means Tory did not go with them, that they left with the driver and EJ left as they left. And so she said, there is absolutely no doubt that Tory stayed at the home with Kylie and that everybody left at the same time in the vehicles. They said, so anyone, and this will be Megan because that's who said it. They said, so anyone saying that EJ was gone already, so that they basically needed to ride with Tory. Anybody that said that EJ was gone already, they lied? Kelsey said, yes. They said, anyone saying that y'all only left once lied? She said, yes. Okay. We go to Tory in the pool, Tory in the swimming pool. They say, how long was it before, once y'all left, did y'all come back to Kylie's house? She said, I don't know how long it was, but it was a short amount of time. They said, whose idea was it to go back to Kylie's house? Megan's idea. They said, why? They said, because Megan said that she had left a slipper. They said, were there any comments about Kylie and Tory in the house? Did Megan make any comments about them when she got in the car? She said Megan was in the front seat, so she didn't see her expression to know, you know, maybe the look on her face and her reaction, and it was dark and late. But all she did say, or something she said was, he want to stay there with Kylie. That's what she said. So they go back to Kylie's home. She said, Megan the only one, you know, that wanted to go back. Then they said, did she have a slipper with her when she came back and got in the car? She said, I don't know. They said, did she come out with Tory? She said, not necessarily at the exact same time, but back to back. So if Megan came out first, then Tory came out shortly after. And so
and let me ask you a question. Is she answering quickly? Is she unsure?
We're finally getting the yes. Okay. You know, okay. Yes. At this point, because it did start happening again with I don't remember shit. But we just ain't got there yet. So they said, okay, let's go to the statements They said the time to go statement. You know, Kylie kicked them out. And she said, yeah. And so they said, let's go to the seat arrangement. And then she outlined where everybody sat, which we already know. Tory and Kelsey sat in the back. Megan sat in the front passenger. Kelsey was right behind her. Quan was in the driver's seat. All right. They go to when they met. Go over that again. Met Tory early 2022, and they became more than friends. Kelsey said she had never seen Quan before that night, and they established that that Quan isn't even his primary security. And so they said, is it true basically that Megan wanted you to be nice to Tory and that she set y'all up? And she said yes, and it grew to something sexual. Basically, they had a sexual relationship. They said, was the argument in the car about Tory not leaving the party? Kelsey said yes. They said and then at some point, did you jump into that argument to defend Megan? She said, yes, I did, because she was my friend at the time. Okay. They said, then Tory interjects and said, well, tell her the truth then. Okay. And then they said, well, how did he say it? They said, basically, he said that they were having a relationship. And they said, how did you feel about that? She said, I was confused and I was upset. They said, did you get mad and argue with Megan? She said, yes. They said, is this why Megan wanted to be let out of the car? She said, yes. They said, did you see her sit at a bus stop? She said, yeah, I did. And that she was in her bikini. They said, who went to her and convinced her to get in the car? She said, Tory went over there to her and spoke to her. And then they got back in the vehicle after that talk, and they got in the same seats. When they got back in, they said, did y'all continue arguing? She said, yeah, we picked right back up. And I told Megan that she backdoored me. And they said, how did you feel at that time? She said, I was still upset, when she got back into the vehicle. She had backstabbed me multiple times at that point, and I was angry. And then they said, and the argument, continued after that. They said the argument leaving was about when y'all left that bus stop. So after this first stop that y'all make, they said, was that argument when y'all got back in about Megan sleeping with Tory? She said, yes. They said, was the primary argument about her backstabbing you? Is that what this argument was about in the vehicle? Kelsey said, yes. They said, were you hurt? She said, yes. And they said, and you gave a couple of names of other instances of her backstabbing you. They said, she said, yes. They said, but we're not going to say their names. Before they said Ben Simmons and the baby. They said, we're not going to say no names, but isn't it true that, you were hurt and that you said, yeah, you backdoored me with such and such? She said, yes. And I said one name of a person that she had backdoored me with. I'm going to use, my brain to take an educated guess and say that maybe the baby is the person in question. Okay. I'm inferring, but that's what I think. She said, I did say one name when I told her this ain't the first time you did it. They said after the first betrayal from Megan, did y'all remain friends and did you remain her assistant? Kelsey said, yes, I did. Okay. They said the car stops and you and Megan get out? She said, yes. They said, Kelsey, this is defense. Was there a physical fight with Megan? Tell the truth. She said there was alcohol. I don't know. They said, I understand that, there were drinks and y'all were under the influence. But did you two fight? Was there a physical altercation? Kelsey said, we probably bumped each other. That's what the girl said. She said, we probably bumped each other. And so they said, what do you mean? Y'all probably bumped each other. She said, I was under the influence. I don't know. They said it was more than bumping, correct? Y'all were yelling and screaming outside of the car, correct? She said, correct. So they said you and Megan were yelling outside of the car. She said, I don't remember. They said, well, y'all still arguing when y'all got out the car. She said, I got out, at the same time as her, and I was still confused. They said, you were upset and angry? She said, yes. They said, was there anything more than y'all bumping each other? She said, I don't know. I don't remember. They said, you understand that you have immunity? She said, yes. She said, was there more? He said, was there more than arguing that took place? There was an objection for asking, the same question. They moved on. They said, how close were you with Megan before that night? She said, we were close, always together like sisters. I had been out there for 2 weeks before the incident, and we were living together, you know, before all of this. They said, you know, whenever we would travel, we would either make hotel arrangements or we would get an Airbnb. We always stayed together. We were really close. They said, how did you feel about being betrayed? She said, you know, I would feel how anybody felt. You know, I felt bad. I felt betrayed. They said, when you got out of the car, did you hear anybody say, dance, bitch? She said, I don't know where that came from. No. They said, did you see Megan when you got out the car? She said, I don't know. They said, did you walk to the front or the back of the car? She said, I don't recall. He said, when y'all got out and y'all bumped each other, was that at the front or the back of the vehicle? She said, I don't know if me or her were walking to the back. She said, I just remember the bump. They said, do you remember you and her walking to the back of the car? Kelsey said, yes. So if we stop even right here, how in the fuck did Kelsey and Megan, or even Megan, let's go to Megan's story. How in the fuck did Megan get out the passenger seat, hear dance bitch, walk around to the front and get shot? But now we're acknowledging that y'all ass got out the vehicle, and you know why they walked to the back, to get their fucking luggage. Y'all was walking towards the back of that shit, but y'all was arguing. Y'all got out there. Y'all ain't walked to no damn back of the car. Y'all got out that motherfucking car and lined that shit up. That's what the fuck y'all did. Talk about it. Ain't nobody fucking dumb. But anyway, they said, do you remember you and her walking back of the car?
By the way, Meg also said that she never saw a bump till she seen Tory and Kelsey. She never acknowledged bumping into,
at all. She said she did
Kelsey
not see
herself.
Kelsey. Now this is changing. They said, did the bump happen at the back of the car? Kelsey said at first, yeah. They said, did Megan turn around and go towards the front of the car? She said, yes. They said, Kelsey, was there a fight? This is when Kelsey hesitates, and she said, I don't remember. They said since the incident and when it happened, Jilly, Megan's manager, picked you up, right? She said, yeah, Jilly was going to see Megan, and I hadn't seen Megan since then. And then she corrected herself and said, well, the last time I saw Megan was when she helped me with my living arrangements. But we still never got a date for when the fuck that happened. So then they go to September 2022. They said, were you being truthful in September 2022? Oh, no. They said, is it true that you weren't being truthful in September? And she said, yes, true. I wasn't being truthful. They said, did you tell the prosecution what they wanted to hear to be done with this? She said, I told them what I wanted. I wanted to be out of this. And then they said, you lied about a lot in those transcripts. And she said, yes. They said, did you lie about who the shooter was? She said, I didn't see the shooter. All right. Now we do a redirect, and Kathy Ty is back up there. Kathy shows the message that Kelsey sent to Justin. They said, did you send this in the car? She said, yes. And they said, why? They said, because I was in a panic. They said, when you were panicked, why did you blame Tory? She said, because I assumed after I heard some shots. And she said, there were only 4 people in the car, right? She said, yeah. And then they said, so you knew she had got shot, right? She said, Megan's team told me she stepped on glass. They said, Megan didn't shoot herself, right? They said, I don't think so. Kelsey said, I don't think so. They said, Jaquan wasn't in a fight, right? They said, no. They said, you didn't shoot Megan, correct? She said, no. They said, so is that why you assume that Tory did it? She said, yes. They say, were you panicked when you sent Megan pictures of this bruise? And they pull up these different photos. So all of those photos that we saw of Kelsey with injuries on her and the bald patch in her head, Megan sent that to the prosecution because Kelsey texted this to Megan. So they said, were you panicked when you sent Megan these pictures? She said, no, but I was confused. They said, you sent all these photos to Megan, right? She said, yes. They said, were you panicked? She said, no, I was confused. So they pull up some text messages that allegedly were between her and Megan. They said, do you remember these text messages to Megan? She said, I don't remember it, but I see it. And they said, you don't remember sending this to her? She said, you're showing me, but I don't recall. They said, did you send any of these to Megan? She said, I do not believe that I sent that to Megan. She said, maybe I had that conversation. She said, but I do not remember sending that to Megan. She said, Megan wasn't talking to me. So she said, I don't remember texting Megan after that. So they said, these text messages where you say that you wanted to go to the urgent care because your head was hurting and all this other shit, because that's what the messages said. The messages said that she was asking the person, should I go to urgent care? You know, my neck hurt, my chest hurt, my head hurt, you know, all this other shit. Should I go? And then she said, it brings back thoughts about me wanting to go to urgent care, but I do not remember sending that to Megan. I do not remember having that conversation with Megan that you're showing me. I don't think that these messages are between me and Megan. They said, you said that you had neck and chest pain, right? She said, yeah. All right. They said, in your back and everything was hurt, right? Kelsey said, you're trying to make me remember something I don't remember. Okay? So they move up. They said, Detective Stogner, didn't he leave you a voicemail in 2020 in August, which is the same month that Megan went live and confirmed Tory was the shooter? She said, no, I don't remember that. They said, do you remember answering the phone for him? He said who he was and you hung up in his face. She said, no. They said, you had a lawyer, and they named the lawyer. And she said, yeah. But then she said, no, the man whose name was Dominic. She said, he wasn't ever my lawyer. He was just somebody I basically consulted with. And so Kelsey said, when you reached out to me, I would forward it to him. And so they said, you weren't ready to speak back then. She said, no. They said, when we met in September, before you got subpoenaed, you knew that our interest, you knew that we were interested. That wasn't the only time that we were interested in talking to you. You knew, like, we want to speak to you then. And did we threaten you? She said, you guys didn't threaten me. They said, before you spoke to us, were you ordered to come back to court? Kelsey said, yes. They said, so you knew that even if you came in to speak to us, that this wouldn't be over. Like, you knew you still would have to deal with this. And she said, yes. They said, Kelsey, why did you say that you felt pressured? She said, I felt pressured because of all of the calls from you guys. She said, the knock on my door when I got subpoenaed. She said, me getting pressured on social media and all of that. She said, y'all didn't threaten me, but I absolutely felt pressured to come in and talk to you guys. They said, you only came to talk after learning about our defense and the finger quite possibly being pointed at you. She said, are you talking about the gunshot residue? They said, when did you learn about the gunshot residue? She said, I don't know. They said, weren't you accused? And this is the defense. No, the defense then came back to talk to her now. The defense said, weren't you accused of shooting? No, this might be prosecution. Yeah, that's not the recross. I'm so sorry. Prosecution said, weren't you accused of shooting Megan? And you said that you felt like that was a ridiculous accusation in September. She said, yeah, it was ridiculous. They said there were rumors that Megan stepped on glass, right? She said her team told me that she stepped on glass, and I believed them. They said, you've remained consistent that you didn't shoot Megan. She said, yes. They said, did you shoot Megan? She said, no. They said, you know you have immunity, right? She said, yeah. Okay. Now the defense comes up to do another recross. They said, you know that you have use immunity, and you're aware that you can still commit perjury and be prosecuted for perjury. She said, yes. They said, are you aware that a witness named you as the shooter? Objection immediately. It was sustained. I don't know why the fuck we can't hear about it, but what damn witness? And there was someone who looked to Tory. They said he even looked surprised by that. I don't know if it truly was or what the hell was going on, but I've never heard that a witness said that Kelsey is the person that shot. So I don't know what's up with that, but I would have loved to have heard more. So they moved on because he said sustained. They said, when did you find out about the gunshot residue? And she said it was way after July 2022. They said, didn't you hear about a witness? She said, yeah. They said, did my client ask you to leave? Or were you pulled out of the car by your hair? Or what happened? How did you get out the car? She said, me and Megan just got out. They said, do you recall these words? I'm taking shots at you. Bitch, I'm busting you. She said, what? They say, do you remember these lines, I'm taking shots at you, bitch, I'm busting you. They had to pull up the lyrics on Rap Genius to read them again so that they could, you know what I'm saying, make it make sense. And so she said, yeah, I said that. They excused her at this time. They were done with Kelsey in the line of questioning. They said, the judge told Kelsey, there's a very remote chance that we will call you back, but it is a possibility. Yeah, Henny shots. This is ridiculous. Oh, that's some light liquor, Casa, whatever it is. Yeah, that time of day. Casamigo. That time of day. They said, Kelsey, you know, we're done. And Kelsey.
I heard Meg went through like 3 of these. No cap.
Kelsey couldn't get her ass up out of there fast enough. She was shuffling and getting up out of there. So that was it with her. That was done with her.